United Nations defines violence against women as any form of gender-based violence that may result in physical, mental, and/or sexual violence, and this may also be as a result of coercion or even threats to the act. 1 in every 3 women face physical abuse globally, and that's according to the World Health Organization. On this episode of Health Watch, we explore how self-empowerment among women living in informal settlements is helping in the fight against gender-based violence. 28-year-old Jacqueline Hadija, a resident of Korogosho area in Nairobi, has lived to tell her story. It is the story of love and betrayal. A man she eloped with in 2013 after she finished her secondary school education in the name of love would later become her greatest nightmare.
Haikukuwa ati tulioana kiharusi ama.
We were not officially married. It was just come we stay.
Alafu nilishi kwa ile environment.
I was so overwhelmed when he told me that he loved me. I trusted him and fell in love with him.
Ananipenda. I was like, oh.
That's how we started, living together as husband and wife.
I fall in, then tukaanza kukaa, akaniambia tukae na yeye, na hivyo ndo tulianza kaa na yeye.
1 year later, things between them took a different turn. They had already been blessed with 1 child.
Kwa hiyo harakati ya kuishi pamoja haikuwa rahisi.
Living with him was not easy because he kept telling me that I was more educated than him. He had insecurities. Most of the things that involved research, I was the one doing on his behalf. I would even help him with work-related assignments. He was a dancer.
Ile ilikuwa another challenge.
Her husband was a class 8 dropout. Jacqueline says 1 year into their marriage, her husband started physically abusing her.
Ikafika wakati alikuwa ananipiga.
He started beating me. There was a time he hit me so hard until I fell on the floor. He followed me on that floor and continued beating me until I had a serious injury on my upper lip. This is not what I expected from a man that claimed to love me.
Mpiga ngumi mpaka mdomo ikararuka na ndani.
Jacqueline stayed in her abusive marriage for a full year.
I was hoping at a change.
I was hoping he would change. After beating me, I still had faith that one day he would stop. But it became worse. He would now beat me without a reason, and daily.
Nikirudi ananiambia nimetoka kuona wazee nje.
Each time I left the house, he accused me of seeing other men and beat me thoroughly.
Yeye. Hao watu wengine wenye ananiambia.
Of course this was not true. He was the only man I knew. I was very naive then. He was my first love.
So, but it was ukitoka kidogo ukirudi, oh, umeenda kwa wazee wengine.
In 2015, she decided to call it quits. By then, they had been blessed with another daughter.
Tuliachana, ya kaenda zake, mimi nikabaki zangu.
He left the house and I was left with the children. But each time we met on the streets, he still beat me. When I asked him why he was still beating me and we were no longer together, he asked about the children.
So, nikamwambia itabidi nimechukua hatua, nimeenda nimekushtaki.
One day, I threatened to take action and report him. That's when he stopped.
Alisikia nitachukua hatua, anaogopa maneno ya polisi. Hapo ndo pale aliacha kunipiga. Tukikutana na hiyo nishaachana naye, sio ni reason ya yeye kunipiga.
Having eloped with the father of her children, Jackie did not inform her family about her ordeal. However, she says her husband's relatives were well aware of their son's actions.
Hata mamake alikuwa anajua, but
his mother was well aware. But to my surprise, the mother never warned him or even advised him to stop beating me.
Anamwambia mimi na pressure walipe mahari kwetu, of which si kitu hata niliwahi mention kwake.
She says her marriage squabble affected her relationship with her firstborn daughter.
Lakini nilikuwa nasikia nimpige tu, nampiga.
I always felt like beating her. I would beat her until my hand pained. I had so much bitterness in my heart. Sometimes I beat her for no reason. Later I would ask myself, now, why did I beat her? Then I would call her to check if she had serious injuries. I felt terrible each time I did that, but I could not understand why I did it.
Kuna nimempiga kama kosa ilifaa nimpige kweli, ningemuongelesha ingekuwa better. But by then sijui kama ni nini ilikuwa inanifanya ni reason that nafaa kumuongelesha na mpiga kwanza before nianze kufikiria.
And 8 years later, Jackie says she never regrets her decision of breaking up with her husband.
Si regret kutoka juu, maybe
I do not regret leaving him because by now I would be dead. If I stayed there, I am sure my life would be worse. The fights were too much. I was always having black eyes as a result of his physical abuse.
Kuna wakati alijaribu kutaka kurudi.
There was a time he wanted us to get back together, but it was a no for me. You know, once beaten, twice shy. I told him in a polite way that, sorry, I cannot get back with you. I need to focus on raising my children, especially taking them to school. You know, if they don't go to school, I am the one to be blamed by the society.
My mom, iye ikutendeka. Unajua wa mama sana ndo huwa tunaangaliwa. Hautasikia watasema baba nani, huwa wanasema mama nani.
As a jobless single mother, it was not easy raising her 2 daughters all by herself.
Nimeanza maisha peke yangu, nafaa nilipe nyumba.
Living alone meant I would now be the one to pay house rent and other expenses. Remember, previously, I was a housewife. It was not easy. Getting a job was a hard task for me.
Bado kulikuwa na paper bag. Zikaratasi za paper bag huko kwa mto.
I became a casual laborer for some time, but I settled on hairdressing. That is what I am passionate about.
Then ule mwenye alikuwa tu ameniita kuja osha ma paper bag, bado tena kanichomea picha huko, bado akasema huyu msichana asipewe kazi.
Courtesy of the World Vision Kenya, Jackie was able to open a small boutique business where she sells second-hand clothes.
Nilikuja nikakutana na Oasis pamoja na World Vision.
Oasis and World Vision Kenya have really helped me through the recovery journey. Apart from taking me through counseling, the life skills training and business training has really helped me.
Zenye zilikuwa ndani yako una feel ziko relieved.
They also give us business startup kits. For my case, I was given braids, crocs, and dresses. Where I stay, the market for dresses is good.
Weza kuletewa nywele za kushuka braids, na nikaletewa crocs, na nikaletewa dera.
Vitu safi, vitu kamera, vitu swale. Kitu atenye we mwenye ukiona.
Jackie uses TikTok to promote her business, a trick she says is working in her favor.
Sana, thank you for the likes kwambo. Hizo likes ziendelee tu kukamiva, umetupatuka like kamoja.
Wakati nikiwa kwa kibanda yangu wanaenda live.
Sometimes I go live on TikTok while at the shop. And while live, I showcase my shop and the stock, bit by bit. Some clients make requests during the TikTok live. They make orders, pay, and I am able to deliver wherever they are. Others prefer coming to the shop to buy.
Wamepiga order, amesema nitatuma pesa unidelivie nguo, maybe niko mali fulani, na kuna wale wa around wanakuja wananunua tu hapo hapo.
Yes, karibuni sana.
Jackie believes that women empowerment is the surest bet to ending violence against women in Kenya.
Kama si empowerment, actually ningekuwa nyuma sana.
If it were not for empowerment, I wouldn't be where I am today. That's for sure. Because remember, my ex-husband was beating me and I kept it to myself. It was a personal problem, I thought. But through empowerment and training, I also had a chance to meet women like me, and this made me to open up. That was the beginning of my recovery journey.
Ilinifanya niweze kujiongea zile vitu zenye nilikuwa nimekeep kwa roho yangu.
What then should be done to curb the rising cases of gender-based violence?
Wakati wanawake wanakuwa empowered kwa community,
when women are empowered, it makes them to speak out when abused. whether physically or mentally. They think about their children and above all, to protect their families. Again, they ask themselves, what will become of my children if I left? How will I parent? How will my children go to school? This forces them to stay even in abusive relationships.
Apitie ile mateso yote in the name of I'm trying to keep my family together.
International Women's Day celebrates women's contributions to society, economy, culture and politics, as well as the ongoing fight for gender equality. Purity Musionzuki, KTN News.